Good afternoon and welcome to the webinar. Welcome to YouTube. Good morning and welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrencies Market Analysis for the first week of April. Welcome, guys. I hope you all had a wonderful week, had a profitable week. I had a great one myself. Let's get started. All right. Great. I'm getting feedback that the volume on YouTube is great, so that's awesome. Let's get going. All right. Welcome once again. As usual, we start with the correlation between Euro, US dollar, and the dollar index. Let's just talk quickly about the timestamps and how it can be useful for you. Let me just show you, for the benefit of those that don't know how to use those timestamps, so that when you navigate around and you're looking for analysis that we've done in the week, you don't have to struggle. So this is how these timestamps work. So let's just take a minute just to show you how this works. So I'm opening here last week's video. This is the recording of last week's recording. So this is what you do. Right under the description, and typically you will find that underneath the video, you only see this. There is a tab here that you can click that says show more. Let's just try and highlight it with a pen here. It says show more. You click there. And you'll see that all the timestamps. Obviously, I do this maybe an hour or two after the recording. After the webinar is completed, I come and do this. So when you want an analysis, for example, if you're looking for analysis on gold, you just go and look for gold. This is XAUUSD, which is gold. You just click on it, and you see it starts right on gold. Right. So similarly, if you're looking for US dollar ZAR, and any other pair similarly, pound JPY. So you can always come and refer to this. It works amazing. You don't have to go around and try to look for a specific chart, try to navigate around. It's all time-stamped. It's linked to exactly where it starts. DAX. You see. So that works amazing. All right, so use this tool, it will help you a lot. So as much as the video is an hour and a half long, you don't have to watch the whole hour and a half of pairs that you're not looking for. All right, so use that, it will be very useful for you. Right, so glad most of you are liking this. It's very useful. I use it myself as well to refer back to the analysis. All right, so the course, our course is starting again on the 9th to the 13th of April. So if you're interested in the course, send me an email. I'll give you all the details. I don't have a lot of time to talk about the course here because I just want to focus on the analysis. So if you send me an email, you get all the details. So what is covered on the course, the price of the course. Obviously, the price is $529 US, right? But any other information as to what that $529 US covers, you'll find it on the email. So even if you're not interested in joining now, just send me an email so you can just have the information in the meantime. All right, I think we're ready to get started. Good, let's start. Euro, US dollar, and the dollar index correlation. Okay, so where are we here in this correction? I'm still looking at this as a correction. I don't think this is the move that is completed. So we're going to go into the lower time frame just to check how this correction is going. Okay, so if you look here, this is on the daily, 1, 2, and then we're getting this one as an X, and we're expecting this to be another 3, so that we can get this deep correction here. Similarly here, you've got a 1, 2, 3 on the dollar index, and you're already getting this 1, 2, 3, which is like an X. So if you look at this, it's already looking like a flag. So it looks like the dollar index wants to push higher for this move. All right, so that's the move that we're looking for on both pairs. See how correlated that is? So if these moves complete like that, we are expecting one more move up, one more move down on the dollar index. All right, so I'm going to go into Euro US dollar. I'm going to close dollar index. So you know that everything that is happening on the Euro US dollar is exact inverse on the dollar index. Great stuff. Let's look at Euro US dollar. Thanks for the good feedback there, Asim. Asim says he actually watches everything. Yeah, actually watching everything will help you because there are some patterns that you can discuss on one pair that we don't discuss on the other. So if you're still learning, you want to do yourself a favor and look at the whole thing. So my bias has not changed here on this pair, on this swing. I'm still looking at this as a 1 in the correction. Okay. This is still a 1, 2, 3. This is still a 4 for me. This is still a 5 internally. I'm still looking at it like that. Right? That's 1. I've done this a couple of times. 2, 3. You need to understand how structure moves. I've found a couple of people sending me charts saying my count is wrong and all those things. It's not about the count. It's about the structure. Understand the structure and the relationship between the corrections. Okay? And in any case, if you've got an alternative count, the market will show us if that's going to be the count. So my bias is still at 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is still 3. We still need to get one more up. And this one more up will come after this fourth correction here. And this fourth correction may come and give us this. So if you watch the dollar, the gold analysis that I did during the week, I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. If you watch that, the structure is exactly similar with what is happening with the wave 4 of Euro US dollar. You see how clear this is. All the degrees are related. There is a relationship between the degrees and the personalities, right? Okay, you do not find any forced counts here. You do not find any impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 labeled on corrections, because that's what I see a lot of people who send me charts privately, and I do not answer to charts privately except for the guys in the premium group, right? So you need to learn to do this the right way. There is a personality, there is a degree that these waves should follow. And right now, we are currently building this one. Okay? I do not think that this is the move that is going to reverse here. Some are looking at this as a wave 5 already. I don't think that is the case. Okay? Because the structure here that is developing is not an impulsive move down. Okay? Right, so let's go look into this wave 4 in the lower time frame. I'm going to look at it in the 4-hour. Looking at the 4-hour. We're looking at this big wave 4. Remember, for the last couple of weeks, I think it's 4 weeks now, since beginning of February, mid-February, I've been saying that I'm looking for a bigger structure because of that. So this is the structure that we're looking at. We're looking at 1, 2, 3. Now, last week, as much as we are within the correction, we traded the move up here. Actually, this breakout. Okay, I didn't trade the move up actually. I was looking for only the down move because we could see that this was making a 1, 2, and then a 3. Okay. Let's look if we've got the blue box projected there. It missed the blue box by just a few pips, but you'll see when you get to gold that it actually reached the blue box. Okay. Right, but in any case, I was only looking for downside. So why am I looking for downside? Because this is the structure that we're going to be looking for. We are looking for this to make this move, this big move here. 1. So at some point here, especially around here, we should start seeing a bounce. A bounce similar in size to this one. Similar in size to this one. And then we're going to carry on down to the 100%. And then we're going to get, if it's going to give us the same structure, we're going to get a sharp reversal again. I move down. I've run out of space. Unfortunately, let's see if we can move this back. Let's do that. Okay. That's the structure that we'll be looking at. And from there, then we will look for this to go up. And that will be a big correction. And I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, the bigger the correction, the bigger the move to the upside. Can you see what this structure gives you? Let me switch everything off and just be left with the annotation. So 1, 2, 3 is your W, 1, 2, 3 is your X, 1, 2, 3 is your Y. After that, we need to get this big move to the upside. I do not think we're going to get a Z. I don't think we're going to get a Z. So that's the move that you're going to be looking at. So what's the trade for the next week? Next week, This is the 4 hour. We need to see if we can get that bounce that we're looking for. Okay, for right now, it looks like it's going to do this one and give us the move down. So watch out here for any corrective structure. Let's go to the 1 hour. Looking at the 1 hour, we've already got this impulsive move out to the upside, and it's busy correcting here. So we may get an upside first, maybe even get that, gives you a correction like that for a further move to the downside, which is what we're looking for. But typically we would expect it to happen at the 618 extension. But even if it happens here, it's still acceptable. So keep an eye on it and watch it like that. Okay, I'm gonna do gold, but not now, together with silver. But let's carry on with all the US dollar pairs for now. Pound US dollar. So earlier, before we started the webinar, I was showing, I logged in a bit earlier, that we sold pound because of this. The blue box. Let's take this off. If I just get this one out here. Did we sell pound? As you can see, we sold it in the blue box before that whole move happened. So now we are here. We're looking for this correction for continuation. If this breaks to the downside, then the next stop is right down here at the end of this correction. So let's go back to it. Let's close that. This is the chart in our premium group. Let's take this off. There's the blue box. I'm going to switch everything off now, show you what we're going to be looking for. So what we're going to be looking for is a corrective structure here. Whether it's going to be deeper, we don't know at this stage, but we're going to look for corrective structure for continuation to this level. Why are we looking for continuation to that level? Let's go 4 hour. So today I'm starting it from the low to going to the high. We've started at the lower time frame. You've seen why we're buying it there. We sold it, we're selling it there. Okay, because we are forming this structure 1, 2, 3 correction, right? Why were we looking for this correction? Because we had this 1, 2, 3 wave down. Okay, so if these 3 wave down, 3 waves up, then you're expecting another 3 waves to the downside. Or even this can do this 1, 3 up to this level, 1, 2, 3 back, giving you another 1, 2, 3 for the big correction that we're looking for in all the US dollar pairs. See, so the trade that we'll be looking for, if there's going to be any here, you look for correction here on the 1 hour for continuation to the downside. Okay, if you wanted to enter, we already short on this. So if you wanted to enter, you look for continuation pattern, and that's what I said for the last couple of weeks, that if this breaks to the downside, then the next stop is probably going to come down to this level. That's what you're going to be looking for. Okay. All right, so the bigger structure, so now we've gone from 1 hour to 4 hour, and now we're coming to the daily, and look at the bigger structure, because we don't look at the smaller structure without understanding the bigger structure. So this correction that I showed a couple of weeks back. All right, so I've asked a question, I've opened this and I've asked a question, how would you label this? Right, and I know most of the waivers do not run away from labeling things like this, or you start to just look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This structure is not an impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a corrective structure. But how do you label a corrective structure that is so complex? Right, so you need to understand the patterns, you need to understand the degrees and how the cycle moves. I've also done a detailed analysis on this pair, I think about 2 months back. It's available on my channel. So this is how I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this as a 1, 2, 3. That's the first correction. And the second one here, running flat. And lastly, the zigzag that's happening here, impulse, correction, and then this impulse here. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Now we're looking at this as a possibly 1, it's a 2, it's a 3. Similar to this, And this will give you not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but a W, a X, a Y. We're still waiting to see if this is going to give us an X, Z, or whether this is going to be a bigger W. If this is going to be a bigger W, then this correction is going to be bigger, and it's going to be X, and then we're going to get a move similar to this one to the upside. But I am more inclined to this one. But whichever one is going to happen, the market is going to tell us. You see, when you understand how market works, you trade with confidence. We are trading it down because we understand the whole structure. I went into the 1 hour first because I understood what was happening in the higher time frame. Right. So that's what you're going to be waiting for. You look for smaller corrections in the lower time frame. That's pound US dollar, US dollar CAD. So US dollar CAD, we reversed right on the blue box. Let's go lower time frames, go for hour. You can see not a pip higher than the blue box. And this, I did not just project this after the fact. We've been analyzing this every single week. Even the week before this touched, showed you that it's going to reverse there in the blue box. This is the magic, call it the blue box magic. So we've got the impulsive move down, which is sold here after the blue box. You could have sold it on the blue box aggressively, but it's better to wait for correction here. Let's switch off and just leave the annotation on. Let's go closer. You see here you had an impulsive move here, and then you had the corrective structure here. This is where you would have sold on this candle, right? So now you've got this move, and now we're busy correcting. And this is the correction that waivers who don't understand run away from. So we go into the 1 hour time frame and understand that correction. Because if you understand correction and when it's going to end, you know when, then you know how to trade, because you want to trade only when the correction is over. Once the impulse goes, then there's nothing there. You wait for the impulse to stop, you wait for the corrective structure to form. Then you start trading. Right, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at this as a whole impulsive move down. And if you look here, you've got an impulsive move up. You've got an impulsive move up here. You've got a corrective structure. 1, 2, 3. You see here, this is actually a regular flat, almost retraces to the 90%. And from there, you get another move up. Right? This retests this top. So what you have here is a regular flat in the higher degree, in the yellow. Okay, after the regular flat, you expect move down. Okay, right now we're busy correcting, so we may get the move down. But if you look on the lower time frame, or we're actually on the 1 hour, if we had to be detailed, because this is looking even more and more complex, 1, 2, 3, it may give you this move here. See, you need to understand every single detail to understand these corrective structures. So maybe then it will start doing this. Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to be looking at on US dollar CAD. It's not very clear at this stage. You've got this trade here, which may be very small, to come back here, come back to the top, come back in 3 waves, come back in 3 waves, possibly to retest here at the bottom. And if that is the case, it may be giving us this structure, W, 1, 2, 3, X, and give us another one. And then making this one an even deeper one. But right now we need to focus where we are here. And just clean it up a little bit here in the middle. And see the corrective structure, because all of this matters. There's not just lines. You see. These are not just lines. Corrective structure there, giving you 1, 2, 3, X, and then another Y here for further move to the downside. Okay, so keep an eye on this corrective structure. And you can see it's a corrective structure because it's not going anywhere. It's just going sideways. It's going sideways. It's not going anywhere. You don't trade these things. Okay, even if you're a scalper, you don't make money here. Short-term traders. Right. That's US dollar CAD. Chief. Chief, if you remember, we were looking at this corrective structure. Okay, let's go higher first, 4 hour. And just to show you as an example, when you've got an alternative count, even if you don't and the structure changes, because you understand all the structures, you know what it's changing to and how just, without even losing money. And in any case, the system tells you when to take the trade or not. So we had that impulsive move down. There's actually a 1, 2, 3 wave down here. I just don't want to go higher. We're looking at this as a corrective structure 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can see there. So we said the analysis before was that if we break to the downside, if we break this, let's do it with a different color. Let's do it with green. If we break this, we were looking for this to come back down all the way to this level. Okay, yes, it did break, but when it broke, we said that the structure that it's breaking with is not impulsive, and we're gonna go look into the structure when it breaks. You can see that it's making what we call a V pattern. I'm gonna go into the 1 hour and look at the break there. Let's look where it broke and see the structure that formed. So even if you had sold after the break, you would not have lost money when it moved up, because you would have exited when you saw the structure. This is the corrective structure going up. Okay, you get an impulse, but that impulse, so you get an impulse, but that impulse does not give you a clear correction like that for further downside to that level. Instead, it gives us a very reliable pattern, which we call the V pattern, like this one. We know this pattern very well, and we know its dynamics and its behavior. And this is how this pattern behaves. Breaks up with the impulse, reverses with a sharp correction, and then it goes. And we've seen this a couple of times. So I'll show you a pair, if I remember, when we get to it, where it does that. And now actually a number of places where it does this. So now it's busy correcting again. We're going to get another move to the upside for this further move up. Okay, so right now on US dollar CHF, we are busy correcting. We're making this move. Look for break to the upside on this one. Okay, maybe a move similar to this one before it reverses again. But overall, this whole structure is still corrective and it's still going to break down at some point. Okay. All right, so that's US dollar CHF. Yes, correction, usually they're very slow. See, corrections are very slow. They require patience. All right, let's look at AUD US dollar. AUD US dollar is looking very interesting. Let me show you on the daily first before we go to the lower time frame. It's looking very interesting. So here's another structure. So when we look at this structure, because we've got trained eyes, you can see that we've got this impulsive move here and a correction there. We've got a 3-wave structure there, and it looks like we're making another 3-wave structure. And all this, what this is making is looking like a leading diagonal in wave A. Why are we looking at this as a diagonal? You'll see that it complies with all the rules of a diagonal. If you look at this as a 1, as a 2, and this is not a triangle. This is a diagonal. There's a difference. And then this is a 4. Okay? And we're going to be looking for this to go and give us a wave 5. Okay? A wave 5 before we get a move down. Okay, we're starting to get that V pattern, as you can see, down to wave 4, showing us that we will reverse to wave 5. And if you look at the dynamics of the diagonal, possibly this is a leading diagonal in wave A, you can see that the one starts with an impulse, and the rest are 3-wave structures, which is allowed. We allow this within diagonals. The 4 is in 3 waves. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is allowed on a leading diagonal. Complies with all the rules, textbook stuff. So we're going to be looking for a bounce here, but not so fast because this is not completed yet. So we need to look at this structure and see when it's gonna complete. Okay. So let's go into it. 4 hour. You can already see that it's making a V pattern with this drop. This drop is not impulsive. It's dropping slowly. See, drops, corrects, drops, corrects, drops, and that's slowing down like that. So we're going to be looking at this to give us something like this. There's also even an advanced pattern there. Let's look at it. If you take the fib there, Let's check and try to project where this will reverse. Okay, it's already there. If you take this looks like a Gatli. So you'll be looking for reversal around this area. See, just missed it a bit here. So we may still come back here, drop a bit, and get a structure like this. Structure like that. And back here at around the 78 area, giving you this. So it may even come, sit here on the trend line. See, that is the main trend line that we drew. And if that is doing that and coming down slowly, that's all confirmations that we're going to get a reversal. We also look at the divergence. We should be getting divergence when that is happening as well. So let me clear this and see if we're getting divergence and clean it up a bit. Let's check divergence. It has already started. You can see that the move up has already started here. Let's get this one done. Clear. You can see that the move up on the RSI has already started here. MACD diverting. RSI doing the same. Okay, we don't look at this one like that. There's a reason why we use the stock RSI. We use that to identify beginning and ending of cycles. And so you can see here, the divergence does not tell you that you're buying. It tells you that the momentum to the specific direction is ending. So we'll be waiting for a move further down before we expect a move to the upside. So that's why I'm saying this one looks pretty interesting in the days ahead. All right, so New Zealand. Okay, New Zealand is making a similar structure to what Euro US dollar has done before at the moment. Let's just look at the structure and see how that a structure like that actually behaves. We get that one there. Let's get Euro US dollar there. And just compare the structures. This one, look at it on the daily. Okay, we can see it here. Actually, on the weeklies, look on the weekly. So that's the structure that we're looking at on the weekly. See, after a impulsive move up, this is making this 1, 1, 2, 3. This one is making a 1, 2, 3 down. Makes this reversal, a move down, a move down. This one does this one does this one. So now US dollar New Zealand may be getting ready to do this one. Okay, so we'll be looking for Euro New Zealand to do a similar structure like this. This is a similar structure. Okay, so after that we'll expect a move up similar to what we got here. Let's switch that off. Similar to what we got here after this move. So that may be the structure that we're looking for, and it correlates, even though we're just looking at the similarity, it correlates with our theme for the long-term corrections within the US dollar pairs. As you can see, it will just be confirming that we're going to be going sideways some more. Okay, so let me just go look on the 1 hour, see if there's anything to trade here at this stage. Let's go back one chart. You've got a flag, you've got upside in the flag. So this may be coming to retest at this level. Maybe come back down, come back and retest that level, giving you a bigger sideways structure like that, and then it will come back down. But for now, just focus on the next move. That's what we do with corrections. As much as we've got a whole focus on corrections, a lot of things can change within the correction. Just focus on the next move. And the next move here currently looks like is the next, is this one here to the upside. Because it has made an impulsive move and now it's making a correction. But you trade this after the correction is complete to the upside. Okay, that's New Zealand. I think that completes all the US dollar pairs. Let's look at US dollar ZAR, and then we're going to do silver and gold. US dollar ZAR. All right, so South Africans are smiling because the repo rate has been cut by 25 basis points. So it's quite a relief in terms of borrowing, because now we save quite a bit of money as well. All right, let's look at this. But the interest rate cut has resulted in this move. But we knew that this move was going to happen even before the rate cut. Let's look at the 4-hour. Because the charts are a collection of market data, and one event cannot change the whole chart. Okay, so let's look at this. We've got this move coming all the way from right to the swing top, coming down here. We're looking at this here. We're looking at this correction, this one here. So let's look at this correction here after this swing here. As you can see here, we were making this V pattern. Correcting closely on the 4-hour. So this is how I'm looking at this. We've got an impulsive move here. Okay. After that impulsive move, we start this one. Then just disable. Somebody has just drawn something here, sorted. All right. So we've got this impulsive move here. And we are looking at this as a 1, 2, 3. And this structure is very expanding flat. So we'll be looking for a move to the upside. Like this move looks like a 3-wave back for a further move to the downside. Where are we today? We are here. So and see what is happening there on the 1 hour. We're looking here now. At this stage, it looks like we've got an impulsive move down. We're getting correction. This is not a V pattern. It's going to do this first. It's going to give us these 3 waves. 1, 2, 3. And even better, it can even do this. Give this one for a move up, giving us this is a sideways flat correction. As you can see, 3, 3, impulse and then up. Coming back to retest the top there. So let's keep an eye on this one. Not safe to trade this one to the downside. You can trade it, and then as it moves down here, you can move your stop to break even and see what happens. See if it's gonna go back all the way. But I'm not interested in trading this move at this stage. Okay. In any case, this correction is not complete, and this must come and retest here for it to be a complete 1, 2, 3 regular flat before it comes down. Okay. But as I say, this 3-wave move, if it does happen, it may just give us 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 impulse up. Okay, that's how structure behaves. Let's see how it goes. ZAR, US dollar JPY. Now we're doing the yen pairs. US dollar JPY. Very interesting pair. Let's go to the higher time frame and show you the chart that I've been showing for the last 10 months or so. I've been showing the very same thing for 10 months every single week. That's one. That's one. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If you look here, you've got a bigger structure here, which is a regular flat. And if we make it simple, for those who don't know the difference between XXY and ABC, let's just say this is an ABC. Internally here, you've got your ABC starts like this. This is a move, there's a move, and this is a move. So typically this is supposed to be your A in the lower degree, and then your B, and then your C, right? So internally, this is B in yellow. So if that is your B in yellow, that means this is your A, B, C in the lower degree, A, B, C. It's all just a B wave. In B wave, we know it's three-wave structures, right? And then giving you the C that ends with A. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're looking at this as a 5 that ends with a V pattern here before we get a move like this one. This is the move that we're waiting for. For the whole year, trading this up and down, just waiting for this move. Okay, we projected that this move, the blue box is down here. Let me just remove all of this. The blue box is around between 104 and 102. Just do it again. See my fibs are off there. It's 1, 2, 3, and the blue box is between these 2 points there. So you can see that we have not really touched the blue box as yet. That is, everything is going to end here. See, this is the end of the cycle. That is where every sequence ends. And where all the sequences end, that is where we expect the big moves. And yes, you can see these moves and these turning points don't come every day. This is where we're going to be expecting the big move. So here we're getting this V pattern entering here with divergence, confirmed with the sequence. We're going to get this big move to the upside. So let's keep an eye for signs of reversal here. Okay. Let's go to the lower time frame, the 1 hour, 4 hour rather. So we're starting to look at this as an ending diagonal, but it looks like it has changed that structure because of this move. This looks impulsive. So we were looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. We're looking at this as a 4 and then a 5 before we get a move up. But this is too impulsive. But in any case, this looks like it's going to come back here and drop. Okay, let's switch this off. And we're going to be looking at this V pattern here. This V pattern. And I'm sure if we look now on the indicators, you're going to find strong divergence here. As expected, we already have upside has already started from this level already. From this level, this has already started upside. This is still going down, still making lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. So it means at some point, anytime, we are going to get a move up. So that's the move that we need to wait for. So we've got this break to the upside here on the 4 hour, and we don't know if this is the impulsive move that will go down, because this looks corrective, because it can do that again and do that. If it does that, then we may be ready to go. But I'm more inclined to this coming back down, giving us a correction, and coming back here at the bottom again. Okay, so let's keep an eye here, because this structure is not very clear at this stage, so there's no need to rush. The market will give it to us. All right. That's USDJPY. Let's carry on with the rest of the yen pairs. All right. So if you're looking at the EURJPY, let me go daily, show you the structure that I've shown for the last couple of weeks as well, and what I'm expecting. So what I'm expecting here, we've got the move here, we've got the correction here. As you can see, this corrective structure, I'm expecting a similar corrective structure here for a move to the upside. Okay, so giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's look here what is happening. 24 hour. So that is the first piece from the top. The drop, the first drop. So now we're expecting this corrective structure to form before we get a next move up. So look at something very interesting here. You see what this structure does? It does a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. What is the next direction? 3, like that, giving you WXY correction before you get a move to the downside here, like that. Okay, so we're getting this corrective structure here. I'm gonna clear. Getting this corrective structure here for this to come back and retest the top here. If it does that, we've got a nice regular flat, and then we're gonna get that move to the downside. Okay, I showed you alternation as well here last week. Let's go back to the daily. What to expect? So expect that this move to the downside may be slow, because when this one started, you can see this one was corrective, and then the last piece was sharp. Here, the first piece was sharp. After the correction, expect that the move here may be slow, like that one. Alternation. Slow this side, sharp. Fast, sharp. This is not a requirement or a rule. It's just an observation that helps you with your analysis on what to expect. So it does not necessarily have to happen like that. Okay, so there's a difference between the rules and the guidelines. Rules, you apply them religiously. Guidelines, you can make your own discretion at some point. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking for, a retest back here, and then you're going to sell for this move on EURJPY. CHFJPY, I compared CHFJPY with USDCAD, similar structure last week. I'm going to repeat it again. That's USDCAD. Let's look at CHFJPY on this side. Let's go daily. Show you the comparison. They've both made truncated moves. All right, so let's look on the left-hand side. You've got 1, 2, 3. It's not drawn cleanly. You've got 1, you got 2, you got 3. And then you had this correction, 1, 2, 3, and you expected this correction to do this, 1, 2, 3, which did not happen because it truncated here. So now this becomes your WX and the truncated Y. All right. After that, you get a move down, 1, 2, 3. So on the left-hand side, you've got 1, 2, 3, right? And then you've got move 1, 2, 3. Instead of this giving us a move to the upside like that, similar to this one, it ends here, it truncates, your Y truncates. So now this becomes a WXY. So this is a funny Y because of the truncation. It fails to break beyond the W, fails to break beyond the W. But the interesting thing is that on the left-hand side, you've got USDCAD that is already complete move. Here you've got CHFJPY that has only got the downside. So what we'd expect if this is exactly similar is for CHFJPY to follow the exact same move. And if you remember, this one reversed right on the blue box. So if this one, we're going to project the blue box as well around this area, depending on where it reverses. You can only project it where it reverses. If the current area is the reversal, I'm going to go back now to one chart and just look at the CHFJPY. If the current area is the reversal, then we'll be looking for a move up to that level. I'm looking for this. We'll be looking for a move up to this level here. But we have not got confirmation that that is the move as yet. So giving you this as a W, this is a X, Y, right? So actually the move will be this one because it truncated here. So this move ends here. All right. So let's see if there's any signs of a reversal at the bottom. Let's go 1 hour. One hour. Switch everything off there. So on the 1 hour, it looks like we've got a move up and we're getting a correction. We've got this impulsive move, and now we're getting this 1, 2. This correction may do that, do that, do that before we go up. Okay? Let's draw it clear. We've got a move up. We've got a move down. We've got a move down, up. 1, 2, 3, up. Regular flat. This is just to show you that I'm not just drawing lines. That is the actual move that we may be looking for. So if this correction completes like that, then that is a trade to the upside. So we need to keep an eye on this one, like that. So that will give you an A, B, C in the lower degree. So wait for this correction to complete. You can see it's incomplete right now. We'll wait for it to give us an indication. All right, so that's CHFJPY and the rest of the yen pairs, AUD. So AUD is looking like it's going to give us a move to the upside initially, but that move couldn't just be a 1, 2, 3 wave pullback. Okay, so you're getting a flag here. By the break of that flag, it's even making another one here, but it may reverse there. So whichever way you want to take this, you need to take it up here, but you need to be careful because that move may just be a similar size in like this one and a 3 wave pullback. Okay, let's just look at this in the higher time frame, daily, and see what we could be looking at there. So what you have here is this whole move to the upside, and that move is being corrected by these 3 waves. So what could happen here is you can have a bounce here in X for a further move to the downside, like that. Okay, and that move can make this one regular flat, like that, for a further move down. But this is all forecasting way ahead, so we are now just going to look if we don't get a corrective bounce here for the X, for a move that will take us back to that level. Okay, so that's what we do when we're in correction. Look for continuation back to this level. Any corrective structure, that means you're going to sell it to that level. New Zealand. New Zealand, similar, you've got that move. You've got this move. You've got this move here. You've got this move that could be doing that. You can have that giving you this move eventually. Or even this can even do that. Let's clear all. This couldn't even be one move here. This being a 3 wave move, you get a bounce for it to come and retest that level. Okay. Also, eventually giving you a regular flat for a further move to the downside. Okay, but I'm not looking for any trade at this stage, but it looks like there is a V pattern happening here on the 4 hour that you can trade to the upside. There's also a flag to the upside, like with all the yen pairs. They made an impulse and they're making a corrective structure here. So you may get a move up to that level. So keep an eye. You only want to buy this once the correction is completed. CAD, similar. Got this flag here. But you need to be careful here because this is already almost equal to that, because that may give you this structure, that structure for a move further down. Okay. Right, so those are the yen pairs. Now the pound pairs, starting with pound JPY. Pound JPY, very interesting. If we look at it on the higher time frame first to see what we were looking at. We're looking at this. Look at this. It's an ending diagonal in wave C. A, B. And then you get this one is a 1, 2. This one is a 3. This one is a 4. And then possibly going for a wave 5. Actually, will not comply to the rules. It will not comply to the rules unless the diagonals are going something like this from here. That will be a wave C. Let's clean it up. Everything else. Look at that one. Yes. That's 1, 2. 3, 4. If this is a 4, then we may still go for a 5. Okay. Hang on a bit. Okay, so let's watch now. We've got this impulsive move down here. And that impulsive move went down in 3 waves. So let's go and check what is happening here in this area. On the 4 hour with that 3-wave move. So you can see that 3-wave move to the downside is clear on the 4 hour. 1, 2, 3. It's a very sharp move. And we've been forecasting this correction for the last 3 weeks or so. 1, 2, 3. See how perfect this is. Clear WXY correction. So if this is completed, then we are expecting that this move, pound JPY, will give us this move, where it breaks to the downside and comes and retests this level here. But that will depend on how it breaks here. If you remember pound chief, US dollar chief, it broke, but with a V pattern. And when it did that, we knew that it was going to give us a move to the upside. And giving us a move to the upside means it's going to give us a further move like that, making this a bigger WXY. Okay, so let's keep an eye and see what structure we get when it breaks to the downside. If it's a clear move and a correction, we know that we are coming down to this level. Either way, we will know which one we get. Okay, so let's do the rest of the pound pairs. We already did pound JPY, pound US dollar we already did. Let's do pound chief. So pound chief, I compared pound chief structure. There's a similar structure that's happening on pound chief to New Zealand US dollar. Let's bring them both up on the same screen. So that's pound chief on the left. Let's bring New Zealand US dollar on the right and compare these structures. I want to see New Zealand on the weekly or the daily. Okay, daily. Let's give ourselves small space here. This is very interesting. These patterns make similar structures. Okay, so this is pound chief on the left, New Zealand US dollar on the right. No relationship whatsoever, only that they're both currency pairs. But because they're driven by the same drivers, it's no surprise that they make the same patterns. 1, 2, 3. Similar here, you've got 1. You've got this pair structure, which is this one here that I've drawn here. And internally here, you've got 1, 2, 3 regular flat. Similar here, you've got 1, 2, 3 regular flat and a move up like that. Similarly here, you have a move up like that. After that move, this one comes down with a sharp move, with a sharp move, with a sharp move again up. So we already had the sharp move down here with a sharp move here. So we are expecting here that we're going to get a move like that and a move like that. So you can see here it has broken. This move has broken here. So this should break here, come back down before it comes back to that level, making this exactly the same structures. Okay, so that is the move that could still happen, and it actually makes structural sense like that, because this could be a 1, 2, 3 W X then a Y, similar to what we have here, W X Y. So let's keep an eye. Any continuation pattern here is telling us that we are completing the structure, and if we get a bigger correction here, then we are getting even more upside. That's how we're looking at pound chief. And also another alternative here when you're looking at pound chief, because all the chief pairs, they look like they're following AUDJPY. AUDJPY. If I bring AUDJPY here, AUDJPY. AUDJPY. Let's find AUDJPY. That's AUDJPY. All the chief pairs have got this structure. Okay, you get this structure. Diagonal ending, diagonal ending. All the chief pairs, if you go check, they're doing the same thing. So you've got this one breaking down, this one coming back and retest, this one coming back and retest, and then coming down. This one has not come down yet, so it may do that and still make that 1, 2, 3 that we want it to make, to be similar structure with New Zealand US dollar. So whether it's following this structure or similar to the New Zealand US dollar, it will all make the same structure. It will make the same Elliott wave structure that we expect. All right, so either way, we'll see what this gives us. Okay, let's go back to one chart. As you've got any indications there. We already short actually on this one, expecting downside. I think just check when we shorted that, This is pound AUD. Let's look for pound chief. Pound US dollar. Let's look for pound chief. Pound AUD. Pound USD. Pound AUD again. Where's pound chief? There's pound chief. As you can see, we wanted it to crawl up. It did this, come back down, come back up, and then now we're looking for this move here. It's currently here now, right? So let's go back to the chart. This is the move that we're expecting. These are charts that we post in our premium group. So that's the move that we're expecting. As you can see, this is the daily. Let's go into the long time frame 4 hour. So now we've already, so you see now it's making the similar structure in the lower degree. So we've already broken here. We need to see if we're going to get a clear corrective structure. We're already short from here. So we're going to wait to see if we're going to get this downside. Either way, we're not worried because we're in the trade. Okay, we actually short on all the US dollar pairs, pound pairs. I think I showed you pound US dollar as well. Let's just go back here. Those pound pairs are all here. This pound AUD will show pound AUD when you do pound AUD analysis. I'll find it now. Coming far. What's happening? Right, so I'm looking for pound US dollar here. You see the pound US dollar, we sold it already when it touched the blue box. I think we discussed this when we were looking at pound. It made this correction, it made this move. Now it's busy making this correction. So either way, we are not going to lose this trade because we're already in it. So if it makes a correction and breaks down, then we're in good pips, good profits. All right, so let's carry on. That's pound chief. What else is left? Pound AUD. So pound AUD. Can you still hear me? Okay, sorry, I was muted accidentally. All right, let's look at this one. All right, so we're back on. I'm just putting on pound AUD. Let's look at pound AUD. Okay, up to which pair did I mute myself? Did you guys see the pound full chief analysis? Pound chief analysis? Okay, great. Yes, so next one is pound AUD. All right, so let's look at pound AUD, one chart. Good, thanks guys. So I'm looking at pound AUD like this. I wanted to delete everything here. Don't know why it doesn't want me to delete. There we go. All right, so last time I showed you the fractal here, but I showed it to you manually. But there's this bus pattern that you can use to check the fractals here. This here, I'm just picking up the piece between this point and this point. And I take that piece and project it right here. See, this is a different piece. And if you look at that piece, it has happened exactly like that, even on this side as well. If we got this move up. So this bus pattern shows you easily show you the patterns that have happened. If you just put it up at the top, you can see there's the move up, down, move up, down, down. Here it ends with a corrective or slowing down move or a V pattern. Similar here, it ends with a V pattern. Just wanted to show you that one. All right, so we're doing pound CAD together with pound CAD. Let's bring them both on the same screen. Pound CAD. So this is what we said last time. We said we're in the blue box on pound CAD. And our blue box here is here. Right. We're expecting that test will reverse in that area. Okay, we already have a reversal on pound CAD. I'm supposed to have pound Audi on this side to show why I'm expecting reversal on the side on pound CAD. So if you look on pound US dollar on this side, this is the blue box on pound US dollar. Let's project this one here. I remember this trade last year. You see, this one reversed there. Made a 1, 2, 3, reversed from the blue box and gave us a whole move down. Here it makes a 1, 2, 3. Now in the blue box, we're expecting a move down. Okay, so we expect this similar move. You can see this one almost popped up of the blue box. Doesn't matter. Here we're within the blue box, and we've looks like on the lower time frame. I'm only going to look on pound CAD now. Pound CAD on the lower time frame. You can see that we already have a reversal, 1 hour. So any continuation pattern to the downside, we keep selling. We keep selling it like that. That's pound CAD. Okay. Let's clear all that. Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand. We're looking at this as a corrective structure. It is still a corrective structure with a 3-wave pullback, only that it's going to give us another 1, 2, 3, giving this as a WXY, just making a deeper corrective structure. We're still looking for pound New Zealand to go and retest the top. As you can see with my arrow there, this is from last week. This is the structure that we're looking for. Let's switch that off. We're still looking for this structure, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, to come and retest that top. So this structure can do something like this, do something like that. That will be a 3, 3, 5 to still come and retest the top. So that the fact that it's going down here doesn't mean anything. Okay, so we need to keep an eye on it. It can still give us that corrective structure. It can still go sideways and take us back to where we want it to go, which is 1, 1, 2, 3, and then we should come back with an impulsive move and then a move up. Right, so that's pound New Zealand, pound Audi. I think we've done all the pound pairs. Now let's look at the euros. The euros, Euro New Zealand. Let's look higher on the daily on this one because it's quite interesting. So this pair, I want the same thing. I want it to come and retest the top, similar to what I want pound New Zealand to do. But right now we've got this move and we've got this correction. Does this mean that is this going down? This can simply do this and give us a move down to the upside after this corrective structure. So you cannot conclude that the move is going down or you see the whole corrective structure. Okay, so I'm still bullish pound New Zealand, bullish Euro New, and this may not even just break here. It may even do this, giving us a equal legs there, a move equal to that one. So any structure that is completed here, you take it to the upside. But if we've got short-term moves to the downside, If you've got short-term moves to the downside, we'll take them. I'm going to go to the 4-hour. Okay, so this is a 1, 2, 3 move to the downside. You're getting a 1 to the corrective structure with different color. We're getting a 1, 2, 3 corrective move to the upside. So it looks like it's making this 1, 2. Right now it's making this corrective structure. It could be just to come and complete this one for a move up. So if you are not afraid to trade short term, break to the downside. Maybe it can even come back to this level to continue with this correction. So let's just look. You're getting a flag here on the 1 hour as well, showing you that you may be going down. It's a very clear flag, very difficult to ignore, because if that flag breaks clearly, like it wants to now, we may come back at least to this level to do this move first. So you can take this to the downside for now. Okay, that's Euro New Zealand, EURUSD, EURUSD. Let's go to the higher time frame. Also want EURUSD. So the euro's long-term bullish. As much as you're seeing moves down, even euro US dollar, we're seeing a move down, but we are long-term bullish. We're just waiting for those corrections to complete. We still want this to test the top here. EURCAD, of all these euro pairs, EURCAD has already tested this top that we're looking for on the rest. So any corrective structure, continuation to upside. Right now you've got this move to the downside. That doesn't mean that you're going down. It's just a single wave down. Let's go 1 hour. So this is what makes people panic, and you shouldn't panic when you see something like this, because this can be a 1, 2, 3, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then you go up. So when you know how these waves move, then you will not panic when you're trading them. Right now it looks like you can have one more down here before you get the 1, 2, 3 back up, and maybe even that. This may not happen, or it can even go straight like that, and that would mean that this is all the correction that it needs. Okay, so I'll be waiting for a move to the upside on EURUSD. EURCAD is a perfect example of how structure works. Daily, you saw that where it tagged. See, of all the other pairs, the euro pairs, this is the only one that has already tagged this top. And that's the top that I want all the other pairs to come and tag as well. So it's a 1, 2, 3. You saw how we followed this one all the way up to this level, over 800 pips from where we bought it here, and then until it touched. And then look what happens when it touches, it reverses immediately. Not 1 pip more than that level. And not because it's a support and resistance zone. That is a zone that will work because it is completing the structure. Okay, so now you're looking like, okay, we're making this continuation here. But this structure looks corrective, which means that they may be still upside here. It may do this upside, do that for upside. So if it gives us a bigger corrective structure like that, then EURCAD may even break and go for new highs. So we need to watch this structure. It's not going down impulsively like we expect. Okay, it's going correctively. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. So that's all the euro pairs, euro pound, daily. Let's look at the whole structure. So you've got this move in the higher time frame of the daily one. Actually, that's the whole move is this one here. That is all the move, and you can see the impulsive reversal there. Now it's making a V pattern here. If this is a V pattern, this may come back to this, do that before it goes again. So it may even still be bullish as well. Okay, so let's go into the lower time frame for our. Last week we wanted it to go up. It's going up, but it's not going aggressively. Because we're looking at a move like this. 1, 1, 2, 3. And then a 1. And this is an X. This to give us a 1, 2, 3. That's why we're looking for this move to the upside. But it's going correctively. And right now it's looking like it wants to, not very clear either. It's not a very nice flag either. But we've got an impulsive move here. So this can be doing that. If it does that, then we are going to get a proper move to the upside. I would like it to come back for one down before it goes to retest the top there. So watch this structure here. This coming down does not mean that it will be reversing. So keep an eye for a further move to the upside. I think that's all the Euro pairs. Let's look at a few CAD pairs. New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD looks like it wants to make this V pattern here. We've got an impulsive move down. And if it's going to make a V pattern, that means it's going to get a move like that. And another one for further down upside. So we're going to update this one next week. There's no new trade on this one. AUDNZD. AUDNZD. Looking a little bit interesting. So you've got here 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And internally, you can see it's clearly 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. There is a pattern here, advanced pattern at the 70, at the 78. It has already touched, so maybe ready to go up if it doesn't give us one more down. So just keep an eye on that one. I think I missed silver and gold. I must do silver and gold. All right, but before that, we'll do silver and gold and oil at the same time. Let's go for 1 hour. Okay, so we've got the impulse reversal right on the 78. We're making this correction is too deep. If it's too deep like that, I will expect this to do this first before it goes. So you need to keep an eye on the completion of this correction here. Okay. All right, so let's do silver and gold as well as oil. Gold. Gold, I did a detailed analysis during the week on this pair. Very interesting. Very interesting pair at this stage with the structure that it is developing. We're looking at 1, 2, 3. You can see this is exactly similar to Euro US dollar. 1, 2, 3. And everybody in our group has already sold this move. Why did we sell that move? Because if you look at this, that has reversed right on our blue box, right in the blue box. Nobody was looking for this to break above the channel because that is where the blue box happens. Exactly there. None of us were looking for this move to go. As we've been saying, we're looking for sideways. So when it gets here, we wanted a reversal. Here, now we're looking for a corrective structure to the downside. Okay, do yourself a favor and watch the video as well for long-term analysis on this. Very, very accurate. So now we'll be looking for this to start bouncing. Let's take this off. Will give us a correction around this area here. Around this area at the 618. Watch the video I did on how to trade double XY like a pro. You will see why I'm looking for that. That's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So the first piece of the new correction should start correcting around the 61. Whether it's going to do this doesn't matter, but around the 61, it must start correcting. Okay? Even if it's going to do this similar correction as this one, we'll expect it to go to this level. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at on gold. Look for a corrective structure to this level. All right, that's gold. And then silver. Let's look at silver. All right, so that's silver. If you look at silver, it's making what looks like a V pattern for a move up, but it's just a sideways move. So very interesting on silver. You've got an impulsive move down, and look what is happening here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. What is the next move? 2, 3. That's the sequence. If you understood this whole sequence, you can see that it's doing exactly the same thing. Now we've got a 1. We need to get the corrective structure, similar to what we're looking for on gold, this corrective structure, to come take us back to this level again. Who knows, it may even come back to this level before we start getting the bounce to the upside. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking for on silver and gold. All right, so let's look at oil. Oil. Oil is actually very interesting. I mean, we've been spot on with oil analysis for the last 10 months. Let's go for our just give me a second, guys. I'm just going to mute here quickly. Just give me 1 second. Guys. For the next 20 minutes. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. All right, so let's resume. Let's resume. Right, we're back on. Just want to show you the structure that we'll be looking at on oil. I was just checking that the recording is back on. It's back on. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see there, let's switch off all these other labelings so we can see only the annotation. It's clear. The annotation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're looking at this as an A, and this 3-wave move as a B, and then we're going to be looking for downside. That's how we're going to be how we've been looking at this all along. So this B wave is in 3 waves, as we expect of a B wave. And so if this is the case, then we're going to still get continuation to the upside. So oil we've been spot on with oil. So what is the next move here on oil? We're expecting this to be a clear impulsive move, but it's not very clear at this stage, but it looks corrective here. So we're going to be looking for continuation to the downside. But you need to get a clear corrective structure, means something like that. Then we'll take it to all the way down. Okay, that's oil. So if you look at the higher time frame, this is why we were looking at oil that way, because of a simple structure here. Look at this structure. Running flat, impulse, correction, and then an impulse. Okay. All right, so that's gold, silver, and oil. Let's do the indices. The indices have got a similar structure, and then the cryptocurrencies that are looking very interesting. S&P 500. So S&P 500 has got a slightly different structure to what the rest of the indices are doing. Right, so we were looking at this to make a continuation to the downside up to this level. So some people were panicking when it made a candle to the upside, candle downside, candle down, candle up. All it is doing is a correction for a down. So we're looking for S&P 500 to at least give us the move to this level. Okay, so keep an eye and take a snapshot on S&P 500. We have a very short term. After that, we're going to be expecting a move to the upside. Now, the rest of the cryptocurrencies all have the exact same structure. Now, we're looking at the NASDAQ. On the 4-hour, we've got a V pattern on all of them, except for the S&P 500. See, the V pattern is starting to do that. So if it keeps slowing down to this level, like that, we'll be expecting it to give us either expanding flat or a regular flat for a move up. So any corrective structure to the downside, you can keep selling it, but it's not safe to sell because we're expecting that they will bounce eventually out around that level with this regular flat here. That is the NASDAQ and the FTSE. You can see also, it looks like it made a bounce, but because of this V pattern, that may turn there with the rest of the indices before we get a bounce. Okay, that's what we're going to be looking at. The FTSE, the Nikkei, you can see V pattern as well. Also a bounce up. I don't think it's going to break out here. It's going to come back for one down before we get a move to the upside. Okay, that is the Nikkei, DAX, similar move. You can see all of them making these V patterns. All of them bounced on Friday. Or was it Friday? Yes, on Friday. Then we're going to be expecting one more down before a move up. Okay, don't disqualify this move because it can happen. But I am more inclined to this one. If we get this one, we're going to get a proper move to the upside. Okay, so that's all the indices. Right, now let's look at the cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies, something very interesting happening here. Let's look at Bitcoin and the structure here. Very, very interesting. And what I've learned with the wave theory is that I never argue with what the chart is telling you. So what is the chart telling us about most of these cryptocurrencies? We have this 1, 2, 3, right? So we had a parabolic move to the upside. Okay. And after that parabolic move, we are making this corrective structure 1, 2, 3. We'll be expecting a 3, a bounce soon when you retest this level. But is this the bounce that's going to go? I don't think so, because this whole structure looks corrective. So if this structure is corrective and it's correcting this move, what is the next move? The next move is going to be this one. What is this level here? Let's keep an eye and see if that's going to happen. This is 0. This is 0. And that structure will give us a WXY. Are we going to see 0 value on the cryptocurrencies on Bitcoin? Let's keep an eye and see. Right now, the next move is a bounce to the upside. Then we'll see how that one goes. Very interesting. So all of them doing the same thing. Let's look at Litecoin. Litecoin, 1, 2, 3. We are now making this corrective structure. 1, 2. Wanted to tag here and press. Unless something changes with the structure, this is the move that we're going to be expecting. Okay, very close to 0 there if it doesn't go to 0. Okay, all of this is a correction, and after correction, then we want to see if we're going to get a bounce. Will we get to 0? I don't know, but that's what the structure is telling us. We're going to go to those levels. That's what the charts are saying. That's what the charts are saying. Ethereum. We have 1, we got 2, we got 3. We got a correction here. And then we're getting this one as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibly. This one may bounce in 3 waves before we move further down. So we keep an eye on that. Or bounce in 3 waves like that, come back and retest, giving us this structure. Okay. That's Ethereum. That's what the charts are telling us. And Ripple. 1, 2, 3. We are looking at this as a 1, as a 2. This is retesting here now. You can see a similar structure. These bounces may be the last bounce up after this moves to the downside. So that's what we're going to be looking at the cryptos. We're going to be updating this weekly and see how that goes. But the next move on the cryptos is the bounce up. Let's keep an eye and see how that plays out. Thank you very much for attending. I don't know if I missed any chart that I should have analyzed here. Did I miss anyone? Okay, I'm just going to do the Dow quickly. What is the code for Dow? I don't know if this is the one. DJI. Okay, let's check DJI. But yeah, Dow Jones Industrial. Okay, so it's the same thing with the rest of the indices. All of them started this big correction and move up. But this one looks like it's making a 3-wave in here. So we may get a slight move to the downside and maybe give us this move and this one before we start going. So that's my view on the Dow. Similar to the rest of the indices, a little bit further downside. Make this correction down and then back up. Obviously, you are looking for long-term investors. You are looking for this move because these indices don't give you an opportunity to enter. You can see they just keep on going. And when you get corrections like this, that is your opportunity to enter and even to buy stocks. Okay. So when you get big corrections like this, that is the opportunity to enter. You see that you don't normally get those kind of corrections. Okay, guys, I would like to end it here. Thank you very much for attending. I'm going to post the stop on YouTube. And if anybody has questions on Zoom, I'm going to give another 5 minutes, but I'm going to stop the recording here. Please like and subscribe on the video if you enjoyed it. Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.